All right, everybody. I am here with Nancy Zare, and we are going to be talking about turning prospects into clients, being able to make that lovely transition that gives us profit. So today, I have known Nancy for a while. We have done an interview together already where she had a red hat, and now she has the yellow hat, and I have the red hat. So I love the fact that like we always both wear hats, and then it's like we'll switch off who's wearing what color without knowing it. This was not planned, but we will do it. We will do it. So, Nancy, tell us about you. Tell us about this passion about prospects and changing them into clients.
Oh, before I do that, Lily, I got to comment on the fact that your hat has got bling on it, and it makes me jealous. Okay, for those of you, I don't know if you're listening. Okay, listeners, she's wearing this cap. It's kind of like a Sherlock Holmes type hat, got that brim on it, and it's kind of a little puffy at the top, but it's got this band of glitter. I mean, it is sparkling like you wouldn't believe. And so, you know what? That's what kind of turning your prospect into a client is all about, right? The glitter. You think that having that client is the goal and you aim for it and you want it, and then you get overwhelmed, right? Because it's just not happening as quickly as you thought and hoped.
Mhm.
Yeah, and maybe you get ghosted. I mean, that's one of the things that happens a lot. Would you agree?
Yes, getting ghosted, and you think it hurts with dating. You want to know where it hurts in the moneymaker. That I would rather get ghosted in a love life than a potential client because I know I can help the client. I know I can make their life better. So when I'm ghosted, I'm always like, "Oh, we could have made magic."
Yeah, it's interesting. I was talking to someone earlier today, and what you brought up is probably the reason why I do what I do. And maybe as your listeners are thinking around the same thing, we have a passion to help people, to transform lives, to make a difference in the world. And we do it one person at a time, usually, right? Yeah, we may even talk in front of a large audience, but nonetheless, it's that one person who catches the message and takes action that we're looking to achieve, right? And yeah, we want that. We want that, but we can't want it more than they want it. And that's the difference, right? You need to bring all of yourself there. You need to see that, yeah, I can help this person. I can identify what it is that I might be able to contribute that can make a difference. You spell it out to the best of your ability. You present it with its value. But the end is that they have to decide, are they worth it? Are they willing to take the action step? And oftentimes, because we are dealing with people who are broken and fragile and they're not completely themselves at this moment. After all, that's why they're coming to us, right? And so they're not able to take that step and claim, I want this for me. And so the best we can do is lay it out, offer that help, and then let it go.
I love that. And I love the point that you made is that you can't want it more than them. You can't want their health, their happiness, their manifesting, their success more than they do. And I think that's something that a lot of healers and therapists and like all of the any helper industry and career, it's like you can't want it more than them. They have to, and it's weird because it's like they have to want it more than you. They have to be willing to put in the time because if we're being honest, as much as manifesting is real, as much as miracles happen, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. And if a client isn't willing, because I have had many clients say, I wear the healing stones and I say the affirmations, but my life just doesn't work and I'm not getting clients and I'm not getting the things that I'm trying to manifest. And it's like, yep, you're doing the like woo woo work, which is fabulous. But I always tell people that is the fairy dust that you sprinkle on top of the hard work. That is not the hard work. Like you still have to train for the marathon, and then the fairy dust just gets you across the finish line at the end. That's it. Like, and so you actually have to do the work to create the life that you want and the clients that you want. And as I think about it, I'm like, oh my God, I think I would not stand. I would be so annoyed if I wanted something more than my clients. I'd be like, why are you here? Like, I'm I want this for you, but like if you don't want it for yourself, why are you here? Why this is wasting both of our times. It's never gonna happen.
I do think that, Lily, that we do get caught up. Many of us get caught up, and listener, be honest with yourself, especially maybe thinking of your younger self. You were called to serve. You've been serving. It's so easy to just serve, 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 and then later you recognize, was I being taken advantage of? Well, actually, the answer is no. You voluntarily gave it up. You gave up your power. You gave up your energy, you gave up your resources, in the name of service, but it's a false cause because until the other person wants it and buys in, you can't do anything for another person. We can't. I mean, we can support them, love them, witness, where they are, etc., but they do have to take the steps and do the work.
Yes. And I always tell people, I'm like, I'll shine a flashlight on the path that you're supposed to take and like point and yell, you got this, turn right, you got this. But I will not push you. I will not drag you kicking and screaming. Nope, I'm not going to do the heavy lifting. You're going to carry your own baggage and we're going to walk and I'm going to hold the flashlight. Like that's my job, is to hold the flashlight and point and then yell really happy, affirming things at you. So as what is, besides wanting it more than the client, what's another big, I don't want to say red flag, but like, yeah, red flag. What's another big red flag in turning prospects into clients?
Well, what I'm going to suggest is that the biggest mistake that many of us make, excuse me, that many of us make is that we project onto the other person our own characteristics. And we think that other people are going to communicate or make decisions or follow the same path that we took in order to get to where we are. But people are different. And while we can say that, it's always a surprise to find out that the other person is not processing things like you're processing. And I believe that is, again, if you're wanting to convert more prospects into clients, you need to put yourself in their shoes. You need to speak their language. You need to look through their lens because you have to start where they are. You cannot be you and expect them to, immediately morph into that direction. After all, we each had our own path that we took to get to where we are. Well, this prospect has a path as well.
I love that. And it's slightly related, slightly not. I am not good at math. Uh, and like I had to take algebra 2 like 3 times because I just couldn't get it. But I'm very good at what I do. I'm very good at being a psychic medium. I'm very good at tarot. I'm very good at astrology. I'm very good at all those things. I'm very good at teaching, speaking, all of it. I love it, which is why I did this and not like taxes. And my mom said, you have to understand that other people have algebra too. And they're like, mine is algebra, but if I'm starting to get like, oh my God, I don't understand why you're not getting it. Not like with my clients. I'm very gentle with my clients, but with people, I'll be like, I don't understand. Like, this is so obvious. I don't understand how they're not getting that. Are they being intentionally obtuse? And my mom has whispered to me, algebra, just because you got it right away doesn't mean they will. And how would you feel if everyone called you stupid because X couldn't find Y in the square axis of dipshit? And I was like, facts. We all have different strengths, and it's our job as the practitioner to work towards our client's strengths, not towards ours. Our strengths should be bringing out the strength of others. Our strength should not be like, it has to be my way or no way. I have met so many practitioners in my industry who are like that, who are like, it needs to be this technique and this is the only, and this is how we're going to measure success in a client. So I have someone who was a client. They are not anymore. They've graduated, and they said, I will never see you again. And I said, awesome. because they were like, I'm good. I love my life the way it is. They don't have a job. But you want to know what they did? They learned to live with their ADHD. They learned to do their own laundry. They learned self-care. They learned compassion. They learned gentle curiosity. They learned everything they needed to do to live an amazing life for themselves. They didn't hire me to help them find a job. They hired me to help them live a life and get the skills, because having severe ADHD, like the laundry was piling up, that nothing was going their way and everything was overwhelming. I'm like, yeah. And after I had seen them, they were like, no, I'm good. I don't need you to help me find a job. I can do that now that I can do my own laundry and have clean clothes to go to a job interview. And so it's finding what people need help with and helping them with that, instead of what you think the obvious reason is. It's like, God, they don't have a job.
Yeah.
That's
And
number
that,
one. It's like, no, that's like number 10. I want to learn how to do my own laundry first.
yeah, that's starting where the person is. And, that's the important part, rather than starting where we think they should be, which is let's create your resume and let's talk about how you network and get a job. No, like you said, getting their clothes clean and ready was a wonderful step. And now they have a choice, do I go for the job, not go for the job? You've empowered them to move forward. So we just have to start where people are.
And focus on what they want to focus on, not what we think needs to be
Yes.
in them. Obviously, as a professional, we have opinions and insight. But if someone walks in, well, it's kind of like going to the doctor. I've been to the doctor so many times. I am a curvy, jiggly human. And so many times doctors been like, it's weight. You need to lose weight. And it's like, no, that's not why I came in. And yeah, because it's like they saw my weight and were like, yeah, that's the issue that needs to be fixed. And it's like, well, no, how about we fix the fact that my hair is falling out, or, that I have acid reflux? They're like, well, it's because you're fat. And it's like, no, I had acid reflux when I was 115 pounds. So I don't think it's chubbiness. So it's really focusing on what your client wants to focus on and
Yeah.
not get
And
tired.
and you're illustrating the importance of really listening, starting where someone is, really listening. What are their goals, not our goals? And no matter what your occupation is, we have been trained to go through a certain process, to get to a certain outcome. But again, what is your client coming forward? Or again, if it's a prospect, because they may not yet be your client, well, how you convert prospects into clients is you start where they are,
Mhm.
and you honestly, authentically be present, ask questions to help them sort out what it is they want to do, where they want to go, what are the options, help them evaluate options. Your option may be one of them, or it might not even be on the list.
Mhm.
If you're really listening to what the person is telling you, it may or may not even be on the list. But that is where you will build relationships. And while the relationship may not immediately transfer and become a client, a paying client, it could in the long run, or they could be referring others because of the way they were treated and respected.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's strange. So when I first started doing this, I worked mainly with like stay-at-home moms who like, oh, just weren't getting enough joy out of their life and everything like that. Um, and I helped them, and it was amazing and fulfilling. Don't get me wrong, it was fabulous. But it morphed into now I help mainly overwhelmed entrepreneurs who are spiritually minded, who are okay that tarot cards are going to decide what business deal they're going to do. And it was because like I helped one and they were like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then you help another and it's like, oh wow, I really am good at this niche. Like let's focus on this instead of like stay-at-home moms or something. No shade to stay-at-home moms, but yeah, you find who you can help the best and most effectively, and they tell people, and it's fabulous. I think we need to come at it, like you said, from where they're at, being very honest. What else? Are there any what else do you have to say about potentials and stuff? I hate sales. Um, let me rephrase. I disdain traditional sales. Like that everyone uses that same blueprint. And I'm like, you're on step 3 now, figuring out my objections. And then you're going to combat them. And then you're going to say, so why not now? And then you're going to add urgency. Like, I know each step, don't worry.
Yeah.
And it just annoys the crap out of me. I'm like, I never want to do that. I get that it is incredibly effective, but I feel being sold to. And
Yes, to
I do
me,
not
it's
feel like,
manipulative, and I don't want to manipulate people. I wince when people use the word convince as if sales equals convincing. No, if you're selling someone, it's really a matter of serving them, helping to tease out and identify what the issue is. And then, why is it an issue? What have they tried? What haven't they tried? What, aligns with their goals for the future? I agree with you. When people use those techniques and tactics on me, it's abominable. I hate it. So, and you know probably a little bit of my story. I never grew up thinking that I would sell. I had no interest in selling. I backdoored into selling because the government paid for me in my graduate studies, to learn how to implement mental health programs in the workplace. Well, upon graduation, I discovered you cannot implement a program until it's sold. Hence, I found myself selling. And I didn't know anything about selling other than the stereotype. So I went back to school, not to get a degree. I went to the library because there are people who do ethical selling. And I listened to the masters. And what I learned is that when you treat people the way they want to be treated, when you serve them, when you make them the center as opposed to the seller, you see, the center, that is what is ethical. That is what honors my my values and makes me feel in alignment. So I think of myself as buyer centric rather than seller centric. It's about understanding how buyers buy, not how I can be a better seller.
yes, yes. I am so for that because I don't like traditional selling. Lots of people have tried to talk me into it as a business model, that, and I'm like, I just don't, it doesn't make my soul sing. And I feel like in your business, it should make your soul sing. There's all things, like, none of us enjoy doing our taxes, but your business, the way because I don't want to resent the client and be like, yeah, I had to trick you into seeing me. Oh, that would feel awful. I agree. The word convince should not exist in your client's kingdom of awesomeness. And it, and especially in my field where there's so much skepticism, there's so many charlatans, there's so much, whatever. I'm still not going to convince you. I'm still not going to try and, prove that I'm real. Like, you come with an open mind and open heart. And if you don't like me after one session, you never see me again. But if you like me, I will help change your life, baby. I will be with you every single step of the way, but I'm not going to convince you. I always tell people I'm not here for your entertainment. I'm not a performing monkey in heels. I am here to help you live your best life. And if that's what you want to, I'll walk through hell with you. I will hold your hand. But if you are here to be entertained, I'm not your bitch. Go away. I have no time for you. Because so many people, they want that. They're like, what's my middle name? Tell me the lottery numbers. And I'm always just like, oh, waste of time. That's that's your middle name.
Yeah, there has to be an alignment with who they are. And when they bring that kind of skepticism and they're, testing your powers, that obviously that isn't in alignment with you, because there needs to be a sense of we're partners in this as opposed to oppositional. Like, we're somehow opposing each other, and one of us is going to win. No, it's got to be a mutual win. We got to be on the same side, on the same team, going towards the same goal.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, exactly. So, are there any final pearls of wisdom that you have for our fabulous listeners?
So if you're feeling overwhelmed, the first thing is, you know what? Make peace with it. I recently read a book, maybe you're familiar with it too. It's Letting Go by David Hawkins, and his solution is to just be with whatever the experience is. Don't reject it. Don't, honor it. Know that it's there. Allow it to be, and then allow it also by owning it, it will absolutely morph into something else. That is what's the nature of life. Things don't stay static. But if you cling to it, hold it, oppose it, push against it, you're keeping it alive. And then, it kind of gets more and more structure, more and more form. So let go, just let go.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining us. If someone wants to work with you or connect with you, how would they go about doing that?
Well, you can go visit my website at nancyzare.com. A good place to connect with me is on LinkedIn because I post there at least 3, 4, 5 times a week. I also do live casts on LinkedIn. So there's an opportunity for you to see me in action, as well as to, read or consume some of the ideas that I share about how to sell by being buyer centric.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us. I love your hat this time. I may like it more than the red one. I did not think I could. I've been looking at it this whole time, and I think I may like this one better than the red one. I'm having some feels. I'm having some feels.
You know why? Because
Why?
this one represents the heart of gold. The red
Oh,
one represented, energy and fire and stamina. This is a different experience.
oh, yes. I love it. I love it. And you do have a heart of gold. It is so amazing talking to you. Thank you so much for the listeners and watchers. And if you liked this, please like the episode. And if you would like to see more shenanigans, because we will never stop, if you want to do that, you can follow or subscribe. And of course, if you have questions, comments, concerns, pop them in the comments. We are friendly people and we want to help as many people as possible. Other than that, go forth, be the hero of your own story, and do not forget to be offensively authentic. Have a great day, everybody.